So welcome to EXCELIYA Training Institute. Today we are going to learn about the essential starter kit. What's inside? So this is the breadboard where we can connect all the components in place if you want. And here this is the power supply module. We can connect it to the breadboard like this. So if we connect it like this, and then it will be a handy tool where we can give the power in two different ways. One is we can use this kind of a battery, and we can use this kind of a clip, the barrel type of a clip, and then we can connect it like this. So then the battery will be connected over there. So this is the switch. So this is for turn on and turn off the power supply. So if I click that, and then it will be turned on. If I again click that, it will be turned off. And the second way of powering it up is by using any kind of a USB cable, and then you can connect it with here, and this side can be connected with your laptop or your tablet or your mobile phone. So that is how we can connect it in two different ways. And here we have this kind of a particular clip, and then if the clip is there, and then you can get over here 5 volt and ground volt, right? So if the clip is in here, you will get 3.3 volt and ground over there. So that is why we use this jumper pin over here or there. I'm actually going to connect it with the 5 volt, so then it will look like this. So then you can get 5 volt and ground volt. And we have another additional power supply over here. If you want a different voltage than this, then you can shift it to the 3.3 volt, and then you can keep it as here. So now it's on 3.3 volt and ground. This is 5 volt and ground. So that is the power supply overall. Then if you want, you can get here also the 5 volt, and here 3 volt, and these all are ground. So here also you can get it by using a female type of a cable. So this is a cable. So this is if you have the pins in it, and this is called it as male type of a cable. Here we have the holes in it, so then this is called as female type of a cable. So this cable is particularly called as male to female type of a cable. So we can connect this by using this kind of a cable. If you want, you can get 5 volt from here and connect it over there, or if you want, you can get the 5 volt from the breadboard over here and connect it on to this area where the connections will be on. So similarly, this is the ground volt. So all these horizontal lines like this are 0 voltages. So here we have the LED bulbs. So LED is an output device. It will have two terminals, like the longer one is positive anode and the shorter one is negative cathode. So that this can be given the voltage of positive terminal onto the positive side, negative terminal onto the negative side, so then it will work. This is an indicator. So if the power is given or not. So if you understand how the LED works, and then you can replace this LED by using a buzzer or motor or water pump or any other actuator or the output component that has the positive and negative terminals on it. So let me connect this. So we can get this LED bulb, and then we can connect it like this. Not like this. If you connect it like this, so the vertical lines are connected in the breadboard, which will be the wrong connection. So you have to connect it like this. Like this. So then what we can do is we can connect this resistor, because the LED can only withstand up to 3 voltages. So that here I'm providing 5 volt, so that we can bridge it. So here I can connect this resistor over here and connect it on the LED's positive side over there. So then the LED is given the 5 volt through the resistor, so then the voltage will be reduced and supplied to the positive terminal of the LED. Now we can get one more negative terminal and connect it on the negative side of this power, and then we can connect it onto the LED. So then if I give the supply, the power, and then if I turn on the switch, and then the LED will work until the power is on. So that, if you understand this one, what you can do is you can simply remove the LED. Instead of that LED, you can open up the component over here. So this is a passive buzzer. You can use an active buzzer. I'll show you what is active buzzer. So this is the active buzzer. There is a seal on it. So then it will have the positive and negative terminal. So similar to that, you have connected. So you can just simply replace the LED on the same position, like in the positive and negative. If you replace it like this, and this negative terminal should be connected on to this position, like here. Okay, so you see that the voltage that we have to give to the buzzer is less, since we have inserted the resistor, not like LED. Therefore, what I can do is I can remove the resistor, and I can obtain a cable and get the positive terminal over here and connect it on the buzzer. So if I connect it like that, so then the 5 volt will be supplied to this buzzer, so then it will work. So this is how we can replace the parts. That means the positive should be on the positive, negative should be on the negative. So this is how we can connect it. Let me remove that, and we can remove the battery and the cables. So here we have some kinds of LEDs over here, and we have some passive components, like we have a capacitor, and we have, so these are the tiny capacitors, and this is a push button. If you push it, and then it will work. So just you can use 2 of these terminals, not all of the 4 terminals. You can just use these 2 terminals in between the line, so then it will be connected. And we do have some kinds of sensors available in the kit, like all these things are sensors. So this is a Hall sensor, where the linear Hall sensor, so it will detect the magnet presence. This is also a Hall sensor. This will detect the magnetic presence. This is a touch sensor. If you touch it, and then it will detect the touch of it. This is a line following sensor, like we can search. If I place it here onto the floor, and it will detect the presence of the color, like in the black color or in the white color. If I place it here, and then it can detect either the sensor is positioned in the green color. If I place it here, it will detect white color. So then it can detect the color of it if I place it there. So similar to that, this also will work like this is a path search sensor, and this is a LDR sensor, like dependent resistor. So it can detect the presence of light. So if the area is darker, you can turn on the lights, and if the area is light enough, and then you can turn off the lights. So like those kinds of projects can be made out of these sensors. And this is a bigger sound detection sensor. If the sound is huge, it can detect it. And if you wanted to detect the low sounds, you can use this sensor, where this sensor can detect the low noises, low sounds. And this is a potentiometer if you wanted to adjust the resistance of the system. So this is a reed switch where we can detect the magnet presence, and this is a metal detector sensor. This can detect the metal presence. Like here, if you place this, okay, this is the metal, and then it will detect. And this is a light detection, like let's say this is used for the counting purposes. Like if you wanted to count something, so then you can place it inside here, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So it will count like this. So that is the reason we can use this kind of a sensor. This is a push button. If you push it, and then it will detect it. So you see there are lots of sensors available, but all these kinds of sensors are working in the same condition. Like as an example, let's obtain this sensor, this low sound detector sensor. It will have 4 terminals actually. So D node, positive, ground, and A node. Let's say you wanted to use this sensor as a digital sensor, just forget about this 4th terminal like on the bottom. So now you have 3 terminals, D node, positive, and negative. So if the sensor should be working, we have to give the power to the sensor, right? As an example, we have to get this positive terminal over here, and we have to connect it on to the positive over there in the breadboard like this. And then after, we have to get the negative terminal or the ground. We can get this kind of a cable, female type of cable, and connect it onto the ground. And we have to connect it onto the ground on the breadboard as well. So then if the power is there on the breadboard, then it will be turned on. So let me connect that. So you see that now the power is given through to the battery, and then the sensor will be turned on. And now while the light is blinking, you have to turn this knob off until it turns off. You have to rotate this knob. Okay, so now the light is turned off, and then you have to make some noises and see whether the light is turning on or not. If you make some kinds of noise, it's not turning on, therefore you have to readjust it. Like in this position. So if I make some noise, you see that if I touch it here, and if I make a little bit noise, and then it detects. So that means onto the digital terminal, it will send 5 volt if it detects any noise, small noise. And if it is not detecting any noise, onto the digital terminal, it sends 0 voltages. So that's how this sensor works. So that sensor should be connected with the relay module like this.